What if I told you that every single WWE match you've ever watched wasn't actually controlled by the wrestlers? What if the real puppet master has been standing right there in the ring the entire time, wearing a striped shirt, and you've been too blind to see it? Triple H just pulled back the curtain on wrestling's most protected secret, and what he revealed is going to shatter everything you thought you knew about this business. Here's what's going to make your blood boil. You've been watching WWE for years, maybe even decades, and you thought you understood how this worked. You thought the wrestlers were the ones calling the shots in that ring. You thought the referee was just there to count the pinfalls and look pretty. Wrong. Dead wrong. Triple H just admitted in a recent interview that referees have more control over your favorite matches than the actual superstars you're paying to see. Let that sink in for a second. While you've been arguing online about who's the better wrestler, who has the best moveset, who deserves to be champion, the referees have been pulling strings behind the scenes like some kind of wrestling Illuminati. And before you smash that comment section telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, let me ask you this. How many times have you watched a match and screamed at your TV because the referee was out of position or didn't see an obvious illegal move? How many times have you blamed a ref for ruining a match? Well, guess what? That was all intentional. Now stick with me because what Triple H revealed is going to completely change how you watch wrestling forever. But first, smash that like button if you're ready to have your mind blown, and let's dive into this rabbit hole. So here's what the game actually said. During a behind-the-scenes discussion about match production, Triple H, who's now running the entire WWE creative operation, broke down exactly how referees function in a WWE match. And trust me, this is not what you think. According to Triple H, the referee is essentially the director of every match. Think about that. Not a participant, not just an official, a director. Like Steven Spielberg in a striped shirt, calling shots in real time while you're watching at home thinking it's all spontaneous. Here's where it gets really interesting. Triple H explained that referees have a multi-layered communication system happening during every single match. They're not just counting pins. They're receiving instructions through their earpiece from backstage, they're relaying time cues to the wrestlers, they're monitoring crowd reactions, and they're making split-second decisions about match pacing. You know that thing where a referee checks on a wrestler who's injured? That's not always about checking if they're okay. Sometimes, and this is straight from Triple H's mouth, that's the ref buying time because production needs to adjust something. Maybe a commercial break is running long. Maybe there's a technical issue. Maybe Vince McMahon, or now Triple H, wants to extend or shorten the match based on what's happening elsewhere in the show. The referee leans in, pretends to check on the wrestler, and whispers, "We need 2 more minutes," or "Go home now." And just like that, the entire trajectory of the match changes. Triple H revealed something even more mind-blowing. Referees are constantly doing mental math during matches. They know exactly how long the match has been going, they know how long it's supposed to go, and they're adjusting everything on the fly to hit that target. Let's say a match is scheduled for 12 minutes. At the 10-minute mark, if the wrestlers are still in the early stages of their planned sequence, the ref has to make a call. Do they speed things up? Do they signal to cut certain spots? Do they tell the wrestlers to go home immediately? This is why sometimes you'll see matches that feel rushed at the end. It's not bad wrestling. It's the referee making executive decisions based on time constraints you don't even know exist. Now here's where it gets really crazy. Triple H explained that referees use a coded language system during matches. You might notice a referee clapping their hands during a rest hold, or touching their ear, or adjusting their shirt a certain way. That's not random fidgeting. That's communication. Each gesture means something specific. A hand on the back might mean 30 seconds to finish. Touching their ear could mean production is talking to me. Certain hand claps signal time checkpoints to the wrestlers. Even where the referee positions themselves in the ring can communicate information. Think about every match you've ever watched with this new knowledge. That referee wasn't just wandering around aimlessly. They were choreographing the entire thing like a conductor leading an orchestra. Triple H also dove into something that wrestling purists have known for years but casuals might not realize. Referees are trained to protect the business. What does that mean? It means they're actively working to maintain the illusion of competition. When a referee counts a pin, they're not just slapping the mat randomly. They're listening for the wrestler to kick out, they're watching for shoulder movement, and they're prepared to adjust their count if something goes wrong. If a wrestler is supposed to kick out at 2 but doesn't, the ref might count slower or miss seeing a shoulder come up. On the flip side, if someone kicks out too early, the ref might speed up their count to make it look close. It's all about selling the drama, and according to Triple H, referees are masters at this improvisation. Here's something that's going to make you rewatch old matches with fresh eyes. Triple H confirmed that referees are ultimately responsible for making sure the right person wins. Now, obviously, the outcome is predetermined. We all know that. But in the chaos of a live match, things can go wrong.
A wrestler might legitimately get knocked out. Someone might get injured mid-match. The crowd reaction might be so overwhelmingly different than expected that a decision gets changed on the fly. The referee is the last line of defense to make sure the correct finish happens. They're literally told before the match, no matter what happens, wrestler A wins. If wrestler B accidentally pins wrestler A, the ref won't count. They'll pretend they were out of position. They'll claim they didn't see it. They'll protect the predetermined outcome at all costs. Triple H also busted a popular myth. Heel referees aren't really a thing anymore, at least not in the way you think. When you see a referee make a bad call that favors a heel, that's not a rogue official going into business for themselves. That's a story being told. Every single missed call is intentional. Every fast count or slow count is choreographed. The referees aren't making mistakes. They're acting. They're performers just like the wrestlers, playing their role in the larger narrative. What really came through in Triple H's explanation was his massive respect for WWE referees. He called them the unsung heroes of professional wrestling. These are people who have to stay in incredible shape to keep up with the action, memorize complex match layouts and finish sequences, make split-second decisions that affect the entire show, take bumps and physicality when needed, never break character or the illusion, and absorb criticism from fans who don't understand their real role. And they do all of this while being practically invisible. When a referee does their job perfectly, nobody notices them. They only get attention when something goes wrong, which, as we now know, might have been exactly right. Triple H also touched on how the referee's role has evolved over the years. In the old territory days, referees really were just officials counting pins. But as wrestling became more theatrical, more production-heavy, and more precisely choreographed, the referee's role expanded exponentially. Modern WWE referees go through extensive training. They study film, they learn psychology, they understand camera angles, they know how to position themselves to not block important shots, they're trained in emergency medical response, they're multi-talented professionals operating at the highest level. So there you have it, WrestleScope family. The secret is out. Every match you've ever watched has been orchestrated by the person you've been ignoring this whole time. The referee isn't just counting to 3. They're conducting a symphony of violence, drama, and storytelling. The next time you watch a WWE match, pay attention to that referee. Watch how they position themselves. Notice when they lean in to check on a wrestler. Count how many times they touch their ear or make subtle hand gestures. You'll never be able to unsee it. This revelation from Triple H doesn't diminish wrestling. It actually makes you appreciate it more. These referees are unsung artists working in real time to create the best possible product for us, the fans. Now, I want to hear from you. Did this blow your mind as much as it blew mine? Have you ever noticed referees doing any of these things during a match? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And be honest, did you ever realize how important referees really are? If this video changed how you see wrestling, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed to WrestleScope with notifications on, because we're diving deep into more wrestling secrets that the industry doesn't want you to know. Share this video with your wrestling friends who still think they know everything about this business. Let's spread the truth. I'm your host, and this has been WrestleScope, where we examine wrestling under the microscope and reveal what's really going on in that ring. I'll see you next time.